It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Divas That Care. My name is Candace Gish. Wow, I'm really excited, everybody. You know, we're going to have a great show today. We have a brand new, I wouldn't call him a diva, but I'm really excited to be having him a part of our program today. We're going to have a lot of fun with Aaron Perry. If this is your very first time tuning into Divas That Care, a huge welcome. We are now in our 12th season. We are listened to in over 30 countries around the world. And honestly, it's because of all of our amazing listeners, our guests, everybody that's been a part of our journey. And we're so grateful that you have joined us. If you want to check out some of our other calls, make sure you go out to divasthatcare.com. You can check out all of our shows, our guests, our hosts, everybody. It's so much fun. All right, as I said, we're going to be doing a great show today. Aaron is my amazing guest today, and I'm excited to get to know him. So, Aaron, welcome to the Divas That Care.
Thanks, Candace. It's great to be here with you today.
Well, I'm excited to get to know you. I've had the opportunity to go through your website a little bit here, and I'm really intrigued. You've done a lot of amazing things, but before we kind of dive into some of the things we're going to be talking about today, would you mind introducing yourself to our listeners?
Sure, happy to, and happy to visit with you and your global audience today. So my name is Aaron Perry. I'm an author, an entrepreneur, a father, and very profoundly devoted to the healing work that is unfolding in our world for ourselves, our communities, and for our living planet. And one of the ways I express this devotion is through the work that we're doing at the Y on Earth community, which is our educational and action-oriented nonprofit. And we, too, have a global network of folks in our ambassador program and many organizations and leaders that we're connected with. And, of course, many of them are women and mothers and grandmothers. And it's a real joy to be collaborating with women and men who are responding to this important call right now.
That's amazing. Can I ask you why you decided to start putting your energies into this? You know, it's not very often we hear a lot of people devoting basically their life into saving the planet. So why did you decide to do that?
Sure, you bet. Yeah, happy to talk about this. You know, part of this, for me, really galvanized in my high school and college years. And I had the opportunity to attend a very special Jesuit high school here in Colorado called Regis Jesuit High School. And we had some extraordinary teachers and instructors and leaders engaged in things like Amnesty International and environmental work with indigenous people. And so our eyes were open very early on to some of the interconnected challenges and opportunities for healing and really need for healing across these different sectors. So that was really part of it. But even earlier in my childhood, in my early years, I was 4 or 5 years old, I had an extraordinary set of experiences in the forests of the Pacific Northwest. And that kind of kicked me off early in life, knowing that we live in a time when we humans are really bringing so much peril and even destruction to our living planet and frankly, to ourselves. And that a whole transformative reality is needed and possible. And of course, I am thrilled and grateful and feel so much joy that there are more and more of us all around the world responding to this reality that we all share together.
I think that is absolutely amazing. And I'm so excited that you're going to be sharing so much about that with us today on our podcast. One of the things I'm really excited about is that you have a new book out there. Tell us the name of the book and tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, you bet, Candace. So it's called Viriditas. The great healing is within our power. And this term Viriditas was coined by an extraordinary woman, the medieval mystic, abbotess, and polymath named Hildegard von Bingen. And it means the green healing energy of the divine that flows through the plant kingdom. So, this is an epic, visionary eco-thriller. It's a story. It's an exciting story. And our protagonist is also an extraordinary woman, a very smart entrepreneur and computer scientist named Brigitte Sophia. And she has cracked the code to deep artificial intelligence. That kicks off the action. And after a meeting with secretive financiers in New York City, all of whom are men, by the way, she is walking across Central Park and suddenly finds herself being chased by some very scary paramilitary men with drones overhead, clearly seeking to get their hands on her and on this knowledge and technology that she has. And she has to run across Central Park and slip into the subway just in the nick of time, and basically gets to John F. Kennedy JFK Airport and onto a last-minute flight to Colorado, and ends up here where I live and work, and has to go off-grid, ditch her technology, and trust a man, a friend of a friend, whom she does not like at all to begin with, but you know how love stories go. And so she embarks upon all of these basically adventures and eye-opening, heart-opening experiences out west here, going to biodynamic farms, visiting permaculture projects, and spending a lot of time in the wilderness and connecting with Mother Nature. And so her journey, her arc, is for us as a reader not only an exciting kind of action-packed and entertaining story, but also full of information from herbal medicine to even things like sacred geometry.
And why did you decide to write this? You know, I'm intrigued because I love, you know, a good romance for sure, but you've really incorporated all aspects of your life into this book. And can I ask you why you decided to do that?
That's one of those things, I guess, in life, Candace. Sometimes we do things, we're sort of guided to do things. We don't necessarily have a clear rational reason, but, I was wrapping up another book, a book called Why on Earth? Get Smarter, Feel Better, Heal the Planet, which is the foundational framework for our work at the Why on Earth community. And as I was wrapping that up about 5 years ago, this other story started to show up that had a woman in it and that had some really deep, mysterious origins. And I came to realize, wait a minute, this isn't Why on Earth any longer. This is something new. Wow, something new is showing up here. It's a story. And I just allowed myself to remain very open and receptive and listening to that guidance that was coming through, and that's where this came from. So I can't say, I sat down one day and sort of rationally planned out this would happen. It was a much more intuitive and fluid kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, that is exciting. And, one of the things I'm going to ask you is how can our listeners purchase this book? Because that's going to be something that's quite intriguing. We have quite a big following of individuals that definitely would love this type of a book.
Absolutely. So, folks can go to viriditasbook.com. It's VIRIDITAS book.com. We've got some additional info there, some really fun videos and recent press and so on. And to purchase it, you can go there, or you can also go right to Amazon, and we're actually running a special with a deeply discounted ebook as part of our launch efforts. So you get to Amazon and look up Aaron Perry Viriditas, you'll get to it. And so, I hope folks can enjoy it. Of course, we've got a beautiful printed version, but the ebook might be easiest for a lot of your international audience.
Well, and we love that, and ebooks are perfect for that. And I'm excited because your website is quite interesting, on how you're wanting to be really interactive with people. There's a lot of stuff that you're going to be putting on your website, but it's really cool to be able to have that experience when you're reading it.
Yeah, it's really wonderful, and already hearing from a lot of our different friends and colleagues, many of whom we collaborate with, many of whom are mothers and grandmothers. And, this story is touching folks' hearts and minds in a profound way, which was very much the intention. In our process, when I was writing and editing, it took a village, right? And I had the opportunity to work with several editors and friends who read the manuscript, many of whom are women, and so got some really beautiful insights about the arc of this experience, this unfolding for our protagonist, Brigitte Sophia. So I think your audience is going to love this story, and there's so much in there for folks to experience.
I'm excited about that too. And for our listeners, I'm going to be posting all of this on our social media so that you'll know where to check out this amazing book. All right, Erin. Well, I want to kind of dive back now. I know we've been focusing on this new book of yours, but you also have other things out there. And I want to, just highlight on some of the other things that you're doing, some of the other books that you have out there, and then some of the causes that you're working on. So if you don't mind, let's start chatting about that.
Absolutely, yeah. So at the Y on Earth community, which again, we have a global network of ambassadors, and if folks are interested in learning more, can go to yonearth.org, and it's the letter Y, ONEARTH.org. And there we also have a bunch of resources, including the book Y on Earth, including our Soil Stewardship Handbook, and including our series of children's books. We've got one called Celebrating Soil. We've got one called Celebrating Honeybees, one called Celebrating Water. And my dear friend and artist, Yvonne Kozlina, is now doing the artwork for our fourth, which is going to be called Celebrating Trees. So these are beautiful stories that are educational and fun for parents, children, grandparents, educators. And this is just part of our resource toolkit to help people from all different backgrounds and walks of life to better connect the dots between strategies, personal strategies, family strategies, and community strategies for enhanced health and well-being on the one hand, and global strategies for stewardship, regeneration, and sustainability on the other hand. And it turns out after many, many years as an executive running businesses in the renewable energy space, the organic agriculture and natural food space, etc., that all of this we're looking at is actually so interconnected. And our strategies for enhancing our own health and wellness are going to line up, when we really dig into this, are going to line up with what's needed to help detoxify our world, our soils, our waters, our air. And so there's a lot of that kind of woven insight in a very hopeful, very practical kind of approach in the book Y on Earth and the rest of our resources as an organization.
Well, I'm really excited about that because as I mentioned to you, on another call that we had done, I'm a homeschool mom. We do permaculture here in my place where we have our bees, we collect water, we have a food forest. We're very big into minimizing our footprint. We want to do a lot of things to do good things. And when I hear other people that are doing this, I just get so excited because you have books too that are written for children that we can just share so that we start as a younger generation so that they can know and be excited about making the world a better place.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And not only as we're inspiring and working to educate our children, are they orienting themselves in a really critical time here on our planet, but we also ourselves as adults connecting with these resources get to learn a bit more. And at the back of the children's books, we have a number of suggested activities that parents can do with their kids and some other resources that folks can look at if they want to learn even more about what can be done for the pollinators and what is so essential about soil for our health and wellness, for our climate stability. It's a real joy, Candace, to know that there are more and more of us out here responding to this call and taking action And I'm thoroughly convinced that there's not going to be some magic silver bullet technology necessarily that's going to get us out of this big pickle we're in globally. And yes, technology is important, but really what is at the heart of a beautiful, sustainable future is a transformation of our culture, of our own psycho-spiritual well-being. And that's something that happens inside out. That's something that starts with us at the individual and family levels. And as more and more of us do that, suddenly we are, by default, transforming the fabric of our entire global culture. And I think there's so much hope and beauty in that reality. And that's the kind of energy and perspective that flows through really all of the books and resources that we share with the world.
Oh, my goodness, so inspiring. I can't wait to see these books. I can't wait to share them with friends and family, even get my kids to read them because I love it. And I love how you're able to inspire so many other individuals. It's just really, I absolutely think, Aaron, what you're doing is great.
Well, thanks, Candace. And, we see what we do through the Y on Earth community as a neuronal network strategy, much like how the mycelial networks function in forest ecosystems, connecting all kinds of different organisms and sharing information and often resources. And we see our role very similarly as connecting between all kinds of people and great companies and other nonprofits and collaborating. And that's where things get so fun. I think often in our modern culture, we can experience this kind of disconnection, isolation, even sadness at times. And when we're coming together in community and we're collaborating among friends and colleagues and other organizations, there's this real strength and joy that emerges. And so, yeah, it's a big part of the fun in this approach. It's so enriching and nourishing, and really invite your audience to check it out and engage with us as an ambassador if you're interested. And we also host a podcast series, the Y on Earth Community Podcast, where
excellent.
I'm interviewing all kinds of other mothers and grandmothers and executives. Kate Williams, the CEO of 1% for the Planet, comes to mind. The youth activist Shea Bastida, all the work she's doing. Some extraordinary folks who are also dedicating their lives and their professional work to this great healing that's underway. So, it's a hopeful time, and there's work to do, no doubt about it. But if we're approaching this from a holistic and grounded perspective, I think that it only means our qualities of life are enhanced as we're engaging more with this work.
Well, and I love the collaboration that you're talking about, working together, because we can't all do it by ourselves. We really do need to work together on this. So tell me a little bit more about your ambassador program. Some of our listeners are always excited to how they can get involved with different things. So, share a little bit more about that.
Yeah, you bet. Our ambassadors are extraordinary folks from a lot of different backgrounds. Some are farmers and herbalists. Some are academics and authors, scientists. Others are engaged in the business world, and everybody is committed to this work and collaborative in approach. And so it's a real joy that we've got folks all over the country and worldwide engaging further and deeper in this together. Additionally, we've got a number of achievement badges that our ambassadors use to share with each other about different accomplishments they've managed, whether it be getting a permaculture design certification or making the 1% for the Planet pledge, a whole number of things. And our newest opportunity is our Viriditas Society. And yeah, that's the same term, Viriditas, that's the title of my new novel. And our Viriditas Society is where we gather together in fellowship, sacred sisters, beloved brothers, in a more intimate and devoted convening focused on ceremony, focused on indigenous practices, focused on the biodynamic land alchemy arts, focused on sound healing and sacred geometry and lovely ceremony together, often set in natural wilderness or rural farm settings. And so this is a new opportunity for those who are called to go a little deeper into ceremony and community that many of us are responding to. And of course, many of the women and men in our ambassador network and in our new Viriditas society are themselves hosting healing circles, helping people to work through trauma, helping people to work through a variety of whatever else might be causing pain or suffering or sadness or discomfort in life. So, many of the folks who are in our network are themselves doing really important work as leaders in communities all over the place.
That is amazing. I know that there is quite a few of our listeners that would be very interested in being more a part of that. So thank you so much for sharing that with us today.
Oh, absolutely, Candace. Thank you for the opportunity to share.
Oh, my goodness. I'm really excited about having you on my program today, Aaron. I know that I would love for you to be back on our program to talk about more things, and I really think that the collaboration between you and the Divas That Care would be a very great thing, and I'm looking forward to the future.
Yeah, likewise, Candace. And yeah, for example, we are in a beautiful collaboration with a company called Purium doing these organic supplements and superfoods. I use them every day now. And a big part of their mission, which they call the Million Moms Movement, is empowering and liberating women and mothers, both financially and in terms of health and well-being. So that's just one example of the many kinds of collaborative opportunities that we love to create and formalize and mobilize. And yeah, to do so with Divas That Care is to me an obvious win-win-win for all of us, and really look forward to collaborating and humbled by the opportunity, Candace, and really appreciate it.
Oh my goodness, you're welcome. And you know what, Aaron, I'll definitely be contacting you again, so we'll have you back on our program. And last, and I know that you've mentioned your website before, but just give our listeners your website one more time so that they can go and check out your book.
You bet. Yeah, if you go to viriditasbook.com, VIRIDITAS book.com, you'll get to a bunch of info about the book, and you can get the ebook or the printed book that way. And then for the Y on Earth community work, again, it's yonearth.org, the letter Y, ONEARTH.org.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure chatting with you today.
Oh, likewise, Candace. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
And a big shout out to all of our listeners. Make sure you go and check out Aaron. I'm going to be posting his information on our website and on all of our social media links. So make sure you go check him out and all the amazing things that he is doing around the world, right? That's what we're all about, is the collaborations and having amazing people like him on our program so that we hear what's happening in the world. And we can't do anything unless we know what's going on. All right, and thank you so much for all the great things that you guys are doing out there. We really appreciate you. We're so grateful that you like, share, and comment on our programs, because that's how we are able to get it out there. And please remember to do something kind today. Until next time, everyone.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.